Well, a very good, warm welcome afternoon to you all. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Technolive. It's been a while, but here we are, back again for another round of just general messing around with computers, finding cool stuff to do, be it programming, playing games, or just looking at cool old stuff, because we like that here. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a very lovely day. I hope you enjoyed your Easter break if you've been in school and are now ready to get back to a good brand new term. And whatever have you got to go with it? Well, yeah, it's kind of alright today. Nothing major, which is a shame because it's been absolutely beautiful the past few days. Anyway, I'm getting distracted as per usual. So, let's have a little chat about what we're doing today. Oh, and one thing you may have noticed, we've gone for a slight little upgrade, downgrade, I'm not really sure, on the whole visuals of Technolive. I fancied a change from the swirly, rotaty shape, so I've been making a couple of new ones. But, you know, it's a creative process. It's going to change, it's going to alter as I add in some more stuff, swap out some old stuff, change it around a bit, until I get a look that I really enjoy. And, yeah. Speaking of things no, that's not a word. Speaking of things I really enjoy, I quite like the Spyro games. Not so keen on the modern ones. I like the ones from the mid-90s and early 2000s. I'm talking Spyro 1, Spyro 2, Spyro 3 for the old PlayStation 1. Because those were the games I had growing up. And one of the things I love about them most is the music. And the music was composed by a composer called Stuart Copeland, who was the drummer for the rock band Sting and the Police. And they've produced lots of famous songs, a lot of them quite rude, so I won't go into them. But there's things like Walking on the Moon. And Walking on the Moon. I can't think of any other non-rude ones. Anyway, Stuart Copeland is this fantastic drummer, and he was asked to come do the soundtrack to the Spyro games. And he would try and play the level. He never could, because he admitted himself that he wasn't very good at playing video games. And he would compose the music for them. Now, he did something a bit different. He had the usual drums that he was so well known for, but he also added some other stuff into the mix. And if I just mute that... Hello. And I'm going to mute it in my ear as well. I forget, I have to do that separately now. He used what's known as a sample pack. It's basically a CD that musicians could buy in the 90s that had lots of things pre-made that they could mix into their own music. And Stuart Copeland used a very particular one called Distorted Reality 2. And this sample pack is amazing because the samples in it you hear everywhere. You hear it in The Matrix, you hear it in Mario 64, you hear it in Final Fantasy, you hear it in all these different 90s things, games, movies, TV shows, that it just crops up everywhere, and I love it for that. Anyway, let's quickly head over. I know I'm going to get on to actually playing the game in a bit, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of the distorted reality so you can pick it out and hear it. I thought the best way to play it is to use... Oh, that's a screensaver. That's a mistake. Hang on, wiggle the mouse. Yeah, this is my old Windows XP. Oh, now it's complaining about Windows Media Player. Yeah, go away. Yeah, this is my Windows XP build, which I finally got working. But this is the kind of the computer you'd have had back in that era, because Windows XP was kind of 2002, 2003. So there's a big crossover there. I just wanted to play you a couple of samples of Distorted Reality, see if you can recognise any. Hopefully I've got the audio set up. I'm not going to blow everyone's ears out. So what you heard there was one sample. And what musicians at the time would go and do is they'd chop up that sample and use it in their music. Also, quick side note, I thought Windows Media Player from 2003 was an excellent way of showing this off, because one of the visualizations is called Spyro, which is the big game we're going to play. But you get lots of them. Here's a not so pleasant sounding one. Oh no, I thought it was going to be a different one. But I'm going to just play a medley of these, and I challenge you to listen out for these. If you can hear any of them whilst we're playing Spyro today. Next one's my favourite. Anyway, that's enough of those for now. Let's get into the actual game itself. And there we are. Now, I'm going to be talking a little bit about it. I will forewarn everyone that I am going to be a little bit negative about this game. I can't help that. It's just being nostalgic. When you're nostalgic about something, like I'm nostalgic about the old games, this is a remake, you kind of tend to judge it a little bit harshly. I'll be doing that a lot. I also don't like very much like Activision, and I'm going to be negative about this. But I'll try to be neutral. But let's get in and have a game. Let's turn it up in my ear. Give me a shout if the music's too loud. Here we go. New game. Now, first things first. Back in the day, I never played Spyro the Dragon 1. That was kind of what kicked it all off. But I can't really tell you much about it. I could talk about Spyro 2. In fact, that's the one I'm going to play. Although, I didn't know it as Ripto's Rage. Over in Europe, Spyro 2 was called Gateway to Glimmer. It was only in America it was known as Ripto's Rage. Spyro 3 is by far my favourite, and I think everyone's favourite. Everyone played that the most. But that one's a cool one. And in fact, if you want to see me playing that, we played it previously on this very stream. Goodness knows how long ago. But I was looking for all the glitches in, and that was in the PlayStation 1 version. But we're going to go Spyro 2. This is the Reignited Trilogy, and it's on PC. And I'm going to skip all the cutscenes, because they've redone the voices. But I quite liked it when the voices were terrible. I say that. The voices aren't actually playing. Why aren't the voices playing? Oh, it's because I've not clicked on it. I believe that's Tom Kenny doing the voice. He also voiced SpongeBob and... Well, he's a famous voice actor. He's just done thousands of different voices. Anyway, yeah, let's skip that. Basically, Spyro's going on holiday, goes into a portal, accidentally comes out the wrong portal. Yeah, sorry, I'm skipping it. They've changed it a little bit too much for my liking. I quite liked it when it had the terrible, terrible voice acting of the PlayStation 1 versions. And in we are. Immediately, it feels a lot smaller, if that makes sense. I'm not sure. Yep. So yeah, this is the basis of the Spyro games. You are a dragon. You can do dragony things like jump, breathe fire. Oh, it actually scorches the grass. That's nice. And you can glide. Can't really fly. You can just glide. Oh, and you can charge. And yeah, this is what we had back in the day. Of course, this is a modern remake, so it's got all the nice fancy features. Like, you can actually see the individual rocks in the cliff, whereas back in my day, which we're going to use that phrase a lot, back in my day, that was just a big blob of grey. But it was my blob of grey. I enjoyed it. And, you know, it looked I don't know. I'm going to stop trying to compare this to the old one and just enjoy it for the game it is. But yeah, this is built on Unreal Engine, I believe. Oh, it's got some nice reflections going on. They're not any fancy reflections, they're just environment reflections. This is 2018, so maybe about a year too soon for ray tracing in games. And of course, I don't have a computer that could do that. In fact, I'm surprised it's running on this computer at all. This is my long tortured Windows 10 machine. Now, in the PlayStation 1 version, there's a small glitch where you could just about get up onto this rock where you're not meant to, and that let you just break out of the game, basically. But not today. There they are. Sorry, Ladybird. That's one thing I've noticed that is very different. Charging, which is one of your main attacks, and one of the best things to do down this little gully, it doesn't vibrate the controller as much. I wonder if I can change that. It's really satisfying charging in the PlayStation 1 version. Oh, basket. And we're going to meet a fairy here. Hello.
Hi, Spyro. I'm a friend of Alora's, and she asked
That's very nice, but I'm going to skip. Yep. Basically just our reset point. That's one thing. It's a lot lighter in this modern remake. This cavern used to be quite a dark cavern, I seem to remember. But they've got some fancy lighting effects and everything. Like that crystal's definitely glowing. I'm pretty sure of it. Anyway, I'm not going to talk to that chap because he'll get us stuck in a conversation. But we can't climb that ladder yet. And when I was trying out this version of the game, I figured, could I use the same cheat as you could on the PlayStation 1 version? On the PlayStation 1 version, if you glided at this crystal in the right way, you could land on top it and then get above that ladder before you earn the ability to climb ladders. But I don't think so in this version. This version's kind of got the, I don't know, the gliding feels weird. It feels a lot more like you're dropping out of the air instead of flying a little bit onwards first. But anyway, stop complaining. Stop being stop being nostalgic, Jack, and just enjoy the game. Oh, that's a question. Has that changed? Ah, okay, that's why I was getting confused. So one of the reasons I wanted to play this game was to show off the fact that they remade the music. And I disabled the new music in my testing, and apparently that's kept on. So let's go for the new music first, see what it sounds like. Ooh. So it's different. One of the things they wanted to do was... Oh, go away, moneybags. Yeah, pay 100 gems. One of the things that happened back in the 90s is Stuart Copeland and the development team had this idea of making the music dynamic. So if Spyro was running fast, the music would play, you know, it'd sound more action-filled. If Spyro stood still, the music would quieten down. And back in the PlayStation days, they couldn't do that. It wasn't powerful enough for that. So they did it in this version. If I stand here for a bit... the music goes quieter and it calms down a bit. And Spyro sneezes. But can you hear it's gone kind of... not muffled, they've changed the filter a bit on the music. but it's just a kind of calmer one. And as soon as I start running, in comes the bass, and it changes up again. Anyway, I'm gonna get these gems, hopefully before that chap talks to me, because that's the end of the level.
Spyro, thanks for helping us fight off the lizards.
Yeah, and we get a talisman for that, which is, yeah, I think that's one of the quickest levels in gaming ever.
One of the home worlds of Avalar.
And that's the portal out of here. Ooh. Well, that's a bit disappointing. In the old version, the portal used to basically just see a sort of hole in the world. Now it's got a kind of shimmery effect on that, and that doesn't really show it off as well. Anyway, I'm just going to burn that banner and head out here, because that's not the end of the level. Because this is from the kind of collectathon era of video gaming, meaning there was always lots more to do in a level after you played it. So, let's get rid of these lot. And of course, always sweep for gems. Gotta have all those gems. In fact, spoilers for Spyro 3, there's an excellent moment where Moneybags, which is the person we paid to get across the bridge, we get to get all our gems back by chasing around in the level. And gems, 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 where are you? There you are. The best bit comes later on when we get to the homeworld, where we get vases instead of baskets, and they make a very satisfying crunch. Let's pop up here. So that's a very cool thing that the original version of Spyro had, the PlayStation 1 version. The PlayStation 1 version was one of the first games to ever do something called LOD, or Load on Demand, or Level of Detail. Depends which one, because some people call it two different things. But the idea was, really far away objects would have a different 3D model to close 3D objects. And the idea was... Yep. The idea was, as I complete this quick mini game, that if you're far away, you'd see you'd have a model with fewer polygons, which meant that it was easier for the PlayStation 1 to render. And as you got closer, the models would get more and more polygons, which the more polygons you have in a 3D model, the longer it takes to run. The longer it takes to compute. So what they would do is they add lots of features like that whirlwind we went up earlier to kind of hide the new detail loading in. So every time you went up a whirlwind... Sorry, I just completed the minigame there. Every time you went up a whirlwind, that was to give time to the PlayStation to load up the new models. And there we are. Every time we complete a minigame, we get an orb. And the role of the game is... The aim of the game is to get as many talismans and orbs as possible. Anyway, we've got another little one here. They've had a little icon above their head to show them that they're requiring orb. They're offering orbs. Not sure I'm keen on that, but oh well. This was always a menace in the original because it was very hard to aim. And it still is. There we are. Ooh, that's that new gliding control that they've added. I'm not keen on it. It feels very... It's weirdly floaty. And yeah, it's weirdly floaty and it's weirdly... you drop really fast. Like Spyro doesn't start gliding immediately. Spyro jumps up, then sort of pops down a bit. I reckon that's going to make some jumps particularly tricky. We'll have to see.
You can spit pretty.
Yep. Spit even further. Oh, hang on. Just do some donuts around that rock. Why not? Yep. On to the next one, which is up on this ledge. These weevil lizard things, they don't make the same noise as they did. They used to really tease you. Anyway. No, I didn't want to talk to you. I wanted to use the... There we are. Where's the next one? This is where my memory fails me. Oh, I forgot to fly up and get those ones. Oh well. We will be coming back to this level. Maybe not in this stream. But in the actual... Yeah, I wasn't talking to you. I was looking at the lizard. In the course of playing the game, because we need to get the power up to climb the ladder. To get all the orbs, because orbs are important. Where are you off to next? Yeah, there's... No, sorry, no, I'm being negative again. Stop complaining. Ah, this one's the moving one. I remember now. You're going to move over there. Stop wiggling at me. There we are. And... nicely done. Nope. Long way round for us. And last one. This one was always a menace to get, if I remember. Because he'd run round out of range. Although they seem to have changed that. Oh, you... nope. There we are.
Yay! You've saved my crop of gems for...
Yep, lizard, gem, orb. Ooh, that's interesting. You can't skip that animation. In the old one, the orb would bounce out of the person. And if you pressed start, it would absorb the orb before you even, you know, you could absorb it before it reached the ground. Now, do we get the all-important? Yes, we do. The flying animations. But that's disappointing. The gems used to fall from the top of the screen. Aw, oh well. And here we are in Avalar, which is the homeworld. And the audio's gone again. That's weird. The audio goes until you focus on the actual window by clicking on it.
Hello. We didn't get a chance to introduce ourselves before. My name is Alora.
Anyway,
Hi, I'm...
moving on. And here we get to the interesting part. Just listen to the music for a little bit. I'll shut up and turn it up. Oh, that's weird. My mouse is on a different screen and still controlling it. So that's the audio for this bit. If I head over back to my Windows XP, which is doing his little screensaver. So this one, this is weird. Stuart Copeland didn't really make any music for the home world sections, for the hub world sections. He just used a track from Distorted Reality. It's track 13. And I think it starts around about here. Can you hear that? So that is a track straight off the sample disc, straight off Distorted Reality. Stuart Copeland just copied and pasted that and used it as the soundtrack to the game. Here it is again, but in the game. Except in this version they seem to have added some extra stuff. Which I just find endlessly fascinating. Anyway, this is the home world. This is the Avalar. This is the first hub world because we see 3 others. This is Spring Garden? Spring Forest. Spring something or other. But we'll come across evening and daytime and midnight and... Or am I thinking of the third game? I could be thinking of the third game. Third game has Midnight Mountain and Evening Meadow? That rings a bell. Oh, I'm sorry, sheep. They never used to do that.
Spyro, this is the homeworld.
Summer Forest, of course, not
To
spring.
many of the Avalar worlds around here. Unfortunately, Ripto has taken over the castle, and we need.
Yep. So, for those of you who haven't seen the game and, like me, have skipped the cutscenes, Ripto is the big bad dinosaur reptilian thing, and is taking over stuff because that's what villains do. Anyway, where are we going to next? We could talk to Hunter, but he's just a tutorial at this stage for getting the hang of hovering. Sorry, frogs. So let's skip on that. I'm wondering if we've got enough money to dive into the water yet.
The dragon
Yep. The water looks interesting. Oh, it's 500 gems for swimming underwater. The water looks, almost, yeah, a little plasticky maybe. Maybe that's just my... Ooh, yeah, sorry, I was going to say, again, I'm distracted by this game. I was saying maybe that's just my not very good computer. I just noticed, look at the hill. I'm not sure whether that'll be made out on stream, but it's got this weird sort of subsurface scattering texture. Is it meant to look like grass? Oh, I've never seen that in a game before. Maybe I just don't play very many modern games. Anyways, let's go... Idle Springs. Now, Idle Springs is literally the only Spyro soundtrack, except maybe one, that I don't like. Oh, and the audio's broken on it again. Weird, the audio breaks in cutscenes. The reason I don't like it is, back when I was very young, I was playing this game, and I was ill. I was stuck at home, ill, with some kind of stomach bug or something. And so instead of doing any schoolwork, I was just playing this game all day. Now the problem was, I was feeling a bit rough. I was doing all this running around, and I was probably in a dark room. And the problem with that once the music kept repeating and repeating and repeating, and I was doing the same thing over and over and over again, and I was moving the camera faster and faster and faster. Oh, that's unfriendly. I started just to get nauseous. And for some reason, every time I think of this game, every time I think of this level and this music, I start to get nauseous again. So, I promise I'm not going to throw up on stream. Hopefully. We'll see. They have changed the music up, though. But again, this music, all composed using distorted reality samples. In fact, had I the time, I could probably even isolate a few. But distorted reality has been one of the things I've been interested in for so long, and I've wanted to make, I don't know, all sorts of documentaries and compositions and show it off to the world. Every time I try and show it off, I never do it justice enough, because there's just so much to talk about distorted reality. I'll admit, I am even a little bit lost in this version. I don't remember this room in the slightest. Unless... no? No. Also, you may have noticed we've taken our first damage of the stream. Sparks is blue, which is a very innovative way of displaying information and user interface to the player. This era of video gaming, there's no health bar on screen because your health bar is the color of your dragonfly friend. Yeah, I don't remember that room at all in the slightest. That's got me confused, that has. Oh yeah. And there's the vases I talked about. Hello. There you are. There's never ever been much challenge when it comes to the enemies in a Spyro game. I mean, maybe there's one or two enemies I can point out that I've never, I've always taken damage on, but not many. That was something interesting I was just going to bring up, and I ended up talking over it because that's how my brain works. But this was back in the era of video gaming when the characters would actually tell you how to use the controls. Which is the weirdest thing when you think about it. So they'd be there telling you the plot of the story, saying, oh no, help us from the evil baddie. Use the square button to attack. Use the triangle button to look. Oh, I don't know whether anyone heard that. It was the slightest thing, but there was a little bird sound in the background. I think it's gone now. That was the same bird sound effect that is definitely in Rayman 2, which is a game from the same era from Ubisoft. So I reckon that came from a sample pack as well. And we've got our next talisman and another end of the level. So let's explore. Oh, there it is, there it is. It was around about here. It was definitely directional sound. Oh well. It's somewhere. That's what matters. I'll have to do more research to find out where on earth that sound effect come from. In case it wasn't obvious, I am definitely obsessed with sample packs of the late 90s. And there's lots of them. There's very much distorted reality and distorted reality 2. But there's also things like Hans Zimmer guitars and You get lots of vocal ones where it's just loads of people chanting. I was going to say, that looks like the perfect kind of spot to see if you could exploit a glitch, but it looks like they've put a wall in front of it, which is a shame. Oh, let's do that minigame. I remember it being a pain, but let's go ahead and do it. Oh, we're going down here this time. Okay. Well, now we're definitely doing this minigame. But yeah, this one used the supercharge gate. Is there a person you have to talk to first? Let's double check that first. Use the supercharge gate to destroy the monster thing. I'm sure there was someone to talk to about it. Is he next to the gate? No, I think you just have to assume what to do. Okay. See, that's one of the... I remember this being one of the reasons I got quite sick when I played that level all those years ago. Because this, your camera is steering left and right so fast. The music's going on and going, and you have to try it again and again, and you get stuck like that. And finally did it. Ah, they've not changed that music. That music's exactly the same as it used to be.
Look at that. The hula girl's ring dance blew up that idol like a Roman candle. Now I can pursue that dancing career I've dreamed of. Take this orb. It could help.
And again, we can't skip the orb. And let's do a quick sweep for gems. There's probably more, but again, yeah, you can always come back to this area. Towards the end of the game, you actually get the ability for Sparks, your dragonfly friend, to point out gems, and that's a very useful ability. There it is! That's the bird. That was the bird. That is definitely in Rayman 2. In fact, it's one of the most prominent sound effects I can think of when I think of Rayman 2. Nope, not Return Home yet. I want to go this way. Because I always like this area after the level. Don't know why. I think it's for swimming along this lake. It's weird the things you remember when you're older. Because yeah, I remember this takes you out back at the start. Or near the start. Oh, I missed a bit. What's that bit up there then? I have no recollection of that. Have they added something? Am I going mad? No. There must be some way up there. Is that the bit that takes you to... I remember there's a bit that takes you to a rocket that releases a series of gems. So how do we get up there? That way, maybe? So it's definitely back along this way. Did I just completely miss out a platform? I completely missed out a platform. Oh my goodness. And then... Okay, so where's the rocket then? Is it further along this way? Maybe this is the same as the original game and I'm just not recognizing it because of all the new decoration it's got. Like, I remember this being quite a mossy, stony area, but they've definitely given it a kind of jungly vibe as well in the remake. I never saw it as jungly myself. And yeah, I was right, there's a rocket. Which is going to go... There. There we are. Oh. Oh no, you have to fly to it. Crumbs. Well, that's a problem for another day. Let's just head back. That was the thing about the levels. It never was too difficult to... You know, it was never too much of a problem to backtrack. Because they're so short, you can just sprint through them. Now this is going to take 30 seconds or so if I don't mess up the jump. And I messed up the jump. Maybe a minute. Not 30. I don't know. And there we are. Back home. So, I think we'll take a look at... Oh yeah, we got the humorous cutscenes. I remember these. Okay, fair enough. I think what we'll do is we'll... Tell you what, we'll skip Colossus, which is kind of the next level. You don't really have to do them all in order, but we'll skip Colossus. And we'll go to my favourite, because it uses the most distorted reality in the music. Yep. We'll take a look at Hurricos, which is one of my favourite levels. After we do a sweep for gems, of course. Because that's the most important part. And yet, again, the dynamic music has definitely changed going underwater. It's kind of got an electric, sort of Lindrum kind of beat to it. That's still quite satisfying. Also, the reflection on these is quite a nice addition, I'll admit. It's not a perfect reflection, it's just an environment reflection. Again, this is a 2018 game. Not quite to the point of, you know, the Ratchet and Clanks and the PlayStation 5 stuff nowadays, but it is decent. Ooh. Right, let's get zapped. Oh no. That was... Yeah, let's get zapped because I want to see if this glitch still works. There's a glitch in the original where you can get trapped in the door if you stay here and activate the button at the same time. Oh. Let's try that again, just in case that was... Ah, they've patched it. So in the original, there's a glitch where you could stand in this door, activate the button from this angle using your flame breath, and you'd be able to fly through that wall, and it'd let you skip the whole level and just glide straight into the boss. So you could basically skip the whole level. Ooh, I've just realised the stream seems to be lagging. Or is that just my preview of the stream? I don't know. Right. I'm wondering... Okay, I'm just testing something now for my own... Yes! Ah! Oh! So, Hunter here, or it might be Allura. talks about a passive and active camera. And I remember back in the day, no one understood this. Because we were kids back then.
If you like.
And we'd always get confused by what it meant by passive and active camera. And of course, this is back in the days where cameras, game cameras weren't the most advanced things. All it meant was whether it turned when you turned, I think. But we'd spend ages switching on and off passive camera to see what kind of difference it made and whether we could understand it, and we never did. Anyway, this is Hurricos. Let's skip that because I want to get to the music of this place. Once I get my mouse back. Thank you. Let's just turn it up a smidge. Oh, they've changed it. Oh, once I'm moving around, now it changes back. That, I mean, they've changed it up. I'm not so keen on what they've changed. Oh. Okay. But that is one of my favourite distorted reality
We've always had trouble.
samples. The drum in the background of here. Okay, so first things first, couple of things to address. A, why is this water? I'm pretty sure this used to be a bottomless pit in the original. That's disappointing. Second, I can't remember what the second was. But, yeah. Sorry, I'm just listening to the music because it is... It's weird, it's like a half-remembered thing. You never quite sure whether you're listening to it correctly or not, if that makes sense. Because it's close, but it's not the same. In fact, for this one, I think what we'll do is we'll go back to the original soundtrack on this one so we can hear the differences. Just turn it up a smidge. That's the one I recognise. That with that lovely, crunchy, distorted reality beat. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm in my youth again. I've de-aged by a decade and quite a bit. Yeah, I think that's my conclusion. As cool as the dynamic music is, it just misses the punch of the originals, because the originals had such punchy percussion, as they were, being Stuart Copeland being such a good percussionist. He, of course, I believe, did help out with this version as well. So it's not, derivative. It's not someone making a cheap knockoff. It's his work and input. But the originals just had that lovely 90s crunch and some interesting reflections. Anyway. Now, cool thing about these enemies is that's a silver robot. And that's an orange creature with a big wrench. Or you might call it a ratchet. And yet these robots look like the robot Clank from Ratchet and Clank. And those wrenches with handled by the orange creatures, look like Ratchets from the game. Ratchet and Clank, which was done by... Hang on, does that make sense? Ratchet and Clank was PlayStation 2 era. That was Insomniac, right? Or was Insomniac Jak and Daxter? I can't remember now. It's definitely too much of a coincidence to miss. Somehow significant, can't remember how. I'm going to avoid this area because that person talks about cheese balls, I think. They're setting up a party? Yeah, the things keep eating. I don't know, I'm off. Oh, the beauty of half-remembered things. You can say whatever you like about them. Oh, diode. Oh, and I missed another diode. Thank you. Oh, and I've apparently got close enough to that for it to activate. Was I missing anything? No, I think that's it for this area. We do come back to activate those switches later. Thank you. Beautiful, that's the thing with Spyro games, beautiful world design, because every world feels unique, and it feels like a world, not just a level, even though it is just a level. So I just went through a rock there? Interesting. Okay. Ow. That's unfair. I'm recovering from just phasing through a rock in the middle of the universe. Oh, that was close. I think another frame and I'd have been squished. Come on, thank you. Oh, that's not fair. I bounced off the windmill. Anyway, at least we get the life back. Yeah, this game is kind of mean to small animals. Spyro just eats small animals, and Sparks just eats butterflies. There was a frog sound here, I swear, and that frog sound again was from Rayman 2. Must be a sample pack somewhere of animals that, you know, animal sounds that someone made at some point. Anyway, we're nearly at the end of the level. What's this person got to say? Oh yeah, I think this is one of the few levels that doesn't wrap around. Or is that a door? I can't remember. Yeah, this one doesn't wrap around. I think that's literally one of the only ones that the level doesn't wrap around for. It gives us a chance to explore because around about here, or somewhere at least, there used to be a wind well up, back again. I think that's what gets us there. Oh no, we go up the... yeah, we go up the windmill. So, we're going to need the Superfly Gate. Sorry, get rid of that windmill first. Let's get that one. That one. And that one. Oh, and I think... Can we get this one, or is this one done by other means? I think those are... No, I think those you can do with this gate. We'll see. Depends on my skill. Which will probably be a no. There we are. That's what we're getting to. Because this level has a whole journey up along the top. That's one thing you notice with these levels. They do tend to sort of focus on a sort of second level on top of the first level. What's this chap going to say?
Do you see that big building over there? The gear grinders are used.
Oh yeah, we have to glide over here. Easy enough. Or at least it was in the original. We'll see if this one has the same dodgy windmill physics. Because on the original, if you landed on the edge of the windmill, you kind of flew off skew-if. Now that's the way you're meant to go, but I remember there being a way this way. No, it was just a thing. Oh, but we have found a hole in the world. I'm not going to attempt flying through that. Oh, hello. Yeah, it definitely misses something having the water there, which I'm sure was just... It wasn't water, I'm sure it was just nothing back in the day. Another orb?
The next glides get. Remember to press.
Oh, and I forgot to switch off the windmills. So you're meant to hit those buttons to switch off the windmills. I haven't done that. So let's see what happens if you just run into them. Oh. I mean, you get thrown off them, but I thought it was going to hurt a lot more than that did. Come on, hello. Yep, hello. Right, let's... Where was I? Over here. No, over there. Over there? Over here. Over... Whirlwind. And now we can get on these. There we go. And we'll do a little cheeky shortcut. Didn't save much time, because these are agonizingly slow. But let's go for that one. And make it. Okay. Back we go. Oh, I forgot to do the music. Yeah, new stream system. One thing I know is my arms are too short for it. I'll have to move a couple of bits of equipment around. Oh, okay, so now the windmills are showing up how they originally used to behave, in that they were completely frustrating. At least on this version you can actually see them coming. On the PlayStation 1 version, depth perception was never really that great, so you couldn't always tell where the windmills were. Sometimes they looked a lot closer than they were when they came towards you. But we're getting there. And then we come over here. And now the frustrating bit. I lost so many lives on this. Because you just have to... There we are. That was easier than I remembered. What's over there? Oh, it does loop round. Also, I have to do that whole thing again. Curse my curiosity. That was a mistake. Can I get up there? Oh. Do we get transported back? Hopefully? Fingers crossed? So that's been a stream. Yes, I hope you've enjoyed. We're gonna draw a line underneath that one. But anyway, welcome back to Technolive. I hope you enjoyed your time with me looking through Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Does it hold up to the originals? It probably does, but personally, I'd still play the originals. The originals just kind of worked. No, I'm being unfair on it. But I think we can all agree, no matter what we say, that the soundtrack, top notch. In fact, I might even leave you with a little bit. So until then, have a very lovely evening. We should be back next week. And yeah, I never know how to end these. Distorted reality, take it away. Oh. Okay. We're not going to have distorted reality because my Windows XP is turned off. So in that case, bye.